Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV in a new episode of our online interview updates. We want to talk to Canada Nickel Company, and Mark Selby, the CEO, is here with us. Mark, good morning to Toronto. How are you?
Good morning to you as well.
Yeah, great to see you. I'm a shareholder of the company. I want to emphasize that. And honestly, Mark, congratulations. First of all, Happy New Year. But
Mhm.
secondly, I think the year will be very happy because what you guys achieved in the last 12 months is really outstanding. I mean, you have now the third strategic partner, tons of money in it, in the company. You have flow through financing, you can drill. I mean, this is outstanding, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, we were really excited, not to bring just one additional partner, but two in, in the start of the year. So, 12 months ago, Anglo American, took a 10% stake in the company. They've now been joined by Agnico Eagle, who did the back end of a $35 million charity flow through deal. So, we talk about, not just Crawford, but the fact that we've got an entire Timmins nickel district, and now we have $35 million to spend this year to continue to explore that. And then the third deal is with Samsung SDI, who uh, came in for a chunk of equity and then have the right to buy 10% of the project, at a US $1 billion valuation, 1.4 billion Canadian, or about, currently about 6 times our current market price. So, that's a tremendous endorsement of the project.
Yeah, and I can imagine that all those three strategics have done an extensive due diligence, right? So they know what they are doing.
Oh, 100%. I think, we've been talking about these big bulk tonnage nickel deposits as being really only the only choice for new sources of nickel that don't come from Indonesia. So you've got, Anglo American, who's one of the five largest mining companies in the world. You now have Agnico Eagle, who's the largest mining company in Canada. They operate two similar bulk tonnage, Malartic and Detour, that are within a few hundred kilometers of our project. They operate similar scale operations, and so again, to have those two guys sign up and be part of the story, I think is a tremendous endorsement of what we're doing and the potential of what we have. And then on the other side, the other pushback nickel names get in the West is that Indonesia's going to supply the world with all the nickel it needs. We don't need another nickel project somewhere else. But the thing I've been emphasizing, Samsung is an Asian battery maker, right? They in their base of operations in that part of the world, they're expanding their global footprint into Europe and the United States. But it would be very easy for them if Indonesia was the only answer to just do that and not do anything with a Canadian mining project. But again, the fact that there's an equity investment, they want a 10% stake in the project, and they want another 20% offtake on top of it, should make it very clear people want clean, green, IRA compliant nickel, to serve the United States market, and as well clean green nickel, for the European market. We've got the big car companies banging on the door, looking for as much nickel as they can get their hands on.
Yeah, that would be exactly my next question, because I could imagine your nickel is extremely well desired, because you are not only carbon free, you are carbon negative, because you
Yes.
can store also CO2. And I could imagine ESG wise, and also for the climate balance sheet of a company, it's extremely important, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, there are very few mining projects that tick as many of the ESG boxes as our operation does, and again, because we can store 1.5 million tons of CO2 per year,
Mhm.
we create the thing where our project ends up having a net negative carbon footprint on the environment. And then the other piece, just from a supply chain logistics perspective, this is not a remote mining operation. We'll have a rail connection linked to all the rest of North America. So,
Mhm.
if you're a car company who's expanding their footprint, battery supply chain in North America, we can deliver door to door rail service, and there's not many mining projects these days that can do that. So,
Definitely, and in one of the best jurisdictions in the world, of course.
yeah, yes, oh
Super
yes, yeah.
important.
No, we've got. It was we had a Chamber of Commerce presentation last
Mhm.
Thursday, and we had over 200 people in the room, and it was I think the largest lunch that they've had in over 10 years. So, it should give you an idea of the degree of community support and enthusiasm, for the project. So,
Okay, super. So, question for me as a shareholder is, on
mhm.
the one hand, I'm super happy that you have those three companies in it, but
Yep,
how do they act together? How does that work with such, let's say, three elephants in the room, being Crawford the biggest elephant, yeah, which
yep,
they stand on, and how does that really work? Because each of the companies could develop the project on themselves because they have the
right.
ability to do those whatever $2 billion plus they which are needed, which is a 40-50 year production then. But how does that come that you have three of those big guys?
Yeah, so two key points there is one, it's they each have a sort of a different focus for the project, so they're not stepping on each other's toes.
Mhm,
Anglo American, in the release we put out, they said we have a suite of future smart technologies that they think can unlock additional value from these types of deposits. So
mhm,
that's really their focus. Agnico Eagle, it's basically $35 million of exploration money. To say,
mhm,
okay, you say you've got half a dozen Crawfords, go and drill those out this year. And then the third group with Samsung, they are involved in the project, but for them it's really about the offtake. So it was a nice fit, in terms of how those companies could come together. And then the other piece, that's helpful for us is having three chunky shareholders plus the original founders of the company. There's about a dozen of us, who still have a decent chunk of the company. It
mhm,
that base really makes it pretty much impossible for someone to do a sort of a hostile
mhm,
takeover at a valuation that we're not happy with. So
mhm.
that's until our share price is a multiple higher of where we are now. That's something that I do worry about. So
Mhm. So that implies, of course, the question: with what share price would you be happy?
higher than today. Let's just say that.
I would say much higher.
Yes.
Okay, super. Can you comment, because I saw that question on our YouTube channel
Hmm.
from a viewer, and it was asked, why did Agnico Eagle that deal? Because it's a gold producer.
Yeah. So yeah, Agnico. The key thing there is they're now the largest mining company
Hmm.
in Canada.
Hmm.
We are neighbors.
Hmm.
The bulk of, if you look at Agnico Eagle's asset base globally, the bulk of the company value is within a few hundred kilometers of Crawford. So, given their focus and scale in the region, that having another mining project in the area, to have an initial investment in, just makes a lot of sense strategically, given the fact that we're so close. It's not like they're investing in, nickel or nothing, non-gold somewhere halfway around the world. This is, right in their backyard.
Hmm. Okay, super. Well, fully understood. Okay, then let's come before we start to talk about 2024. I mean, you
Yep.
must have a ton of money in your bank
Yes.
storage. So, what is it today, and for what all can you use that now?
Yeah. No, I mean, the 35 million from Agnico, uh, has to be exploration focused, but
Hmm.
the rest of the cash that's there, we still have a chunk of money left over from the Oramet loan that we had, plus the 24 million that's coming in from Samsung. That keeps us well funded, through for the next several months. And then we'll be in the process with the banks to be able to get the full project financing together, and
Hmm.
we expect between that and the government money that's coming in to be able to keep us well financed through the balance of the year. So
Hmm.
we are, as you said, we're in great shape on that front.
Okay, super. So, what is the game plan for this year to really move the thing forward?
Yeah, so on Crawford, there's sort of three key streams. So the first thing is a permitting, and so we will complete the second stage of the federal process by mid this year by the filing of the environmental impact statement. That's progressing quite well. That then puts the government on a 365-day timeline to come back with a yes/no answer. So we're on track to get permits by mid 2025. The second piece of the thing is the project financing. So we've got Scotia and Deutsche Bank as project equity advisors, and then we're working with Cutfield Freeman on the project debt side. So the goal is to have that full financing package for the project in place before year end. So when the permit comes, we can get that shovel in the ground as quickly as possible. And then last piece of work, that's going to ramp up through the year is the detail engineering. So you've got enough engineering complete so you can confidently start the project. So that's on Crawford, and then with the Agnico money, we've got this $35 million to go, to go drill, the land package that we've got. So, we're very excited by that. And again, you'll see a whole ramp up of exploration results, as the year progresses. So, we're very, very excited, to have that money to be able to unlock what we think is going to become the world's largest nickel sulfide district.
Okay, super. You said also government money, government support. Is that like a percentage? Is that like depends on the project? Just for the understanding.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of programs now around critical minerals. Some of them are grants, some of them are loans that are advances that may be
Mhm.
repayable in the future if you get to cash flow. There's a range of different programs at the federal government level, the provincial government level, and even at the U.S. Department of Defense. So
Mhm.
we're there's a number of places that we can tap in to get money, to continue to advance the project forward. So we were kind of out in front of a lot of those programs in terms of how quickly we're advancing the project, but they've now caught up to us, and we're in a position where we can start to take advantage of some of those programs. So it's always good to get as much free money as you
Yeah, of
can.
course.
So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So could it be like whatever 10% of the project volume you need, or what is that?
Oh, in terms of the overall project finance, the big project
Mhm.
finance. Oh no, I mean I think you could easily see upwards of half the money that we need for the equity check to come from from various government sources. So yeah, no,
Oh, I would say
it's great.
that would help a lot and brings dilution down.
Yes, for sure, 100%.
Uh-huh.
So
Super. Perfect. Wow. Sounds like a good game plan. All right.
yeah,
Perfect. Mark, thank you very much for the update. It was very helpful. And I think there is a lot going forward here. We will see us at PDAC, and we'll do another update here. But
for
as I
sure.
said, congratulations. Extremely well done. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mike Selby, the CEO of Canada Nickel Company. You heard it. Three big companies, three elephants, I would call it, are now really in the company. You have Anglo American, you have Agnico Eagle, and Samsung SDI. And as Mike alluded to, all three of them fit perfectly together because each of the companies has a different, spot they want to take on here with this super large project. And I think this is outstanding because it shows the value of the project and the company. Because one thing you can be assured, before such large companies spend tens of millions of dollars, or even as Samsung with over $100 million in the project itself, they make an extremely well searched due diligence. And so that shows me that Canada Nickel has done extremely good work here upfront, because otherwise they would never have stepped in. And don't forget, this company can produce nickel at negative emissions, meaning negative CO2, because they can store CO2 in their tailings. And this is something which is completely, I would say, new in such volumes. And that would help really a lot to produce here carbon friendly and ESG wise extremely positive. So the company has enough money, they can drill, they can execute on all their programs. I think there will be a lot here 2024 and 2025. And I think this would mean also here a higher share price. I'm in. Check out the company, especially at those prices. It's still a bargain to me. Thanks for watching us, and bye bye from Switzerland. So, 1 second.